Hello and welcome to Cornwall. My name's Andy Paramore, this is Andy's Cornish Creations, and in this video we're going to be making a little tree out of a short log. This is elm. It's about 5 inches tall and about 3 inches in diameter, and we're going to put it onto the lathe, onto a glue block, and get turning. So let's get on with it. Okay, we've got our piece of timber. Get the tailstock out of the way, and I'm going to put it against the glue block, and we'll just feel that it's in roughly the center. And I might just take it slightly off center on the piece, so that the tree's slightly off center as well. We hold it against the glue block and tighten up the tailstock, and that will push against here. Tighten up the tailstock. Our glue gun's already hot, and we'll just run a bead of glue right around that joint. It doesn't look like much holding it on, but we've already got tailstock support, and I'm not going to be taking the tailstock support away until we've got the bulk of the tree turned anyway. So we're keeping that support there, and then this is really just for the finishing touches. Okay, the glue's set. We'll just check that it turns okay. Tool rests nice and firm. I've got a 3/8 inch, which is about a 10mm spindle gouge. And I'm turning at 1000 revs. And what we're going to do, we're going to leave a little bit of bark at the bottom, and we're going to turn a cone shape. Get that a bit closer and increase the angle. Check that it turns okay. Okay, not too bad. We'll just do a nice tidy up cut, just to get a good edge, a good surface on there. And we just give it a light sand. We're going to leave about 23 mil at the bottom for the trunk. That's about 3/4 of an inch, perhaps a bit more. Then for the first branch we're going to make that 20, the next one about 18, and 16, 14, 12, and 10. And that's going to be the top of the tree there. Now if I could just take a moment to introduce you to a good YouTube friend of mine, Mike Booth at Scenic City Woodturning. Here's a few examples of the videos that he's got, and is quite a wide range of different projects. If you could take the time to pop over, have a look and subscribe to his channel, that'd be great. Okay, we're just going to make those lines a bit longer. Scrub those off. That's a failed attempt at marking it out. I'll just set it spinning. Get those lines a little more defined. And basically those, they're just reducing in size the closer to the top of the tree they are, just to give it a sense of perspective. Okay, get the speed up to about 1,000, and we've got a 1/2 inch skew chisel, and just going to drive that into the lines. And what that's doing is, I'll show you. Just sand off that those high points. What that's doing is giving us a nice crisp bottom edge. If we were to use a parting tool to do that, we'd get jaggedy edges on the bottom, which is not what we want. So now we can go in with a parting tool and just part. We don't want to go too close to that line so that we do away with that good edge. So we can just come just below it. And go in. Don't go in too far because we can always go in further afterwards. That's the bottom branch, and this is the base, and I'm going to go in at a bit of an angle because this want this to look like a bit of a bank that's leading up to the tree. I come in there with a relief cut, that's what it's called, just so that the tool doesn't get stuck in the cut, because it'll as further I go down it'll tighten up. So I'll put a relief cut in just to give it a bit of room in the bottom, and I'm going down there a little bit further. Where I think the circumference of the tree is about right, and I can take that piece out now, so that's not needed. That's an old mortise chisel that I use. So there we go. Now what I want to do, I want to use the if I can find it, hiding. I want to use my small spindle gouge, and I'm going to take the branches in. But what I want to try and do is to just leave a little bit of wood on the edge there. What I don't want is a sharp point on the bottom. A, I might get a catch, and B, we don't want any sharp edges on a piece that we might be selling. Just going with a parting tool, just go down a little bit deeper. And also we can give a bit of shape to the trunk now. Just change the position of the tool rest. We'll try and get a nice cut on this bottom. That's better. Okay. Now I'm going to go in. I've got this. I've got a thin parting tool, but with this one, I've shaped the end so that it's slightly rounded, and it's really good for going into these little areas and just finishing off instead of in a really sharp internal cut. I can just round it off slightly, and it's much easier for finishing and sanding. I'll show you. So we just go in and just rounds that bottom out slightly. Much easier than with the point of a skew. If you were producing say 20 of these, little tricks like that can make a big difference in the amount of time you spend finishing off. And that's that. So all that's left is on the top. I want to create a little ball on right up at the top, just to finish it off. Let's turn the speed down. About 800. You can take the tailstock support away now. You see we've got a little bit of a wobble there, but that's okay. And then we carefully, just gentle cuts, just take that tip off. Okay, I'm going to sand from 120 to 400. to watch out for those, for the bark. If it catches your knuckles, it'll hurt. Piece of 180. I'm not going to get too carried away with the sanding, because we're going to produce these. We're going to produce a lot of them, and they're not going to be too expensive. So the finish, whilst it needs to be nice and smooth, doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. As long as it looks nice and it feels nice. Okay, now I've got some abrasive paste and a rag. I'm going to turn it down a touch while I apply the paste. Just tend to flick about if it's going too fast. And this has got wax in it as well. Beeswax, so it will soak into the wood a bit, colour it up and leave a nice finish. Just turn the speed up. We got there 1,000, and I'm using a rag, but I'm holding it in my hand very lightly, so that if the piece grabs hold of it, it'll just pull it out of my hand and not wrap around. I'm not having it wrapped around my fingers, so that I pull my fingers into the piece. It'll just whip it out of my hand. I do prefer the rag to the paper towels. I will use a towel just to get rid of the excess abrasive paste. And then turn the speed up. We got there about 1600. Stop. And that'll give it a bit of heat to melt the wax and give it a bit of a shine. Take a look at that. There we go. I've got a nice bit of character in there. It's nice and smooth, got a nice shine to it. I think we'll call that done. So next we've got a hot air gun, and we'll put it on, turning very slowly, and we need to heat up the hot glue, and you can tell when it's getting hot because it turns clear again and a bit shiny. You see there it's starting to shine and it's going clear. Which means it's melted, and it should, he says, pop off there like that, and then we just scrape off the glue while it's still soft. The bark on this elm does seem to be very just stay on really well. It's a lovely dark colour on the edge. There we are. All done. I tend not to bother with the bottom. Just the cuts. They certainly don't bother me, and it saves an awful lot of time. Okay, so there we have it. We've taken a little log and turned it into a tree. It's got a little bit of character in the wood, and it's got a nice shine, and the base, it's just very slightly offset on the base, which is what I like it to be, rather than it being bang in the centre. Yeah, nice little project, quick to make, and at a craft fair or something you can they'll sell really quickly and easily, because you can sell them reasonably cheap because they don't take long to make. The wood is free if you keep your eyes open for bits of branches and things, and yeah, nice little project and fun to make. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, that'd be great. Share, apparently that's a good thing to do, so if you could do that. And if you haven't subscribed already, if you could subscribe and ring that little notification bell at the side of it, and that'll let you know when I put out a new video. It'll let you know that that it's out there. And also, one thing that I forget to mention, but some of the guys out there do or have bought me a coffee on the Buy Me a Coffee, which is a little link at the bottom, and so I would like to just thank them for that. It's certainly not expected, but very much appreciated, and it just helps to keep the hobby and the videos going. So anyway, it's been a nice day today. It's Bank Holiday Monday, and which is why I'm not working, and it's been a nice sunny day, and I managed to spend a bit of time in the workshop, which is always good. So from a sunny Cornwall, this is Andy Paramore from Andy's Cornish Creations, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. Don't forget to check out Mike's channel. I'll put a link below in the description. It'd be great if you could pop over there and give him some support. Thank you.